Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah with Sara Plans Life, and today I am going to do a walkthrough of my previous two planners from the last 2 years, and then just kind of show you a little bit from my planner I'm using this year. So I am a January through December kind of planner girl. I prefer to see my years just that way. I don't prefer an academic year right now, which is, kind of a bummer because now I don't buy the new planners when they come out. I have to wait until November. I usually buy during the Black Friday sale. So let's start with this one. This one is from, moving my stuff. Okay, here we go. This is from 2018. So this is the first planner I bought, like an official planner to plan with. Before, I was using like my wall calendar to write down all my stuff. And at that point, I just had young kids. They weren't in much. I was staying home with them. So I just didn't really have a lot of things scheduled. So I bought this planner because things were starting to come up. My son had started preschool and we were starting to do more things. So I needed more space to write stuff down. So this is a Mead. It's a weekly planner. Technically, it's a weekly planner, but look at that. I never used the weeks. I tried a few weeks to do it, but I just couldn't do it because they're horizontal. So I bought this big one, and you can tell it is super I don't know if you can see watermarks and it's dirty. It's because I kept this on my counter. This was on my kitchen counter so that my husband could kind of see what we had planned, see what was going on. So I didn't start using it until January, and I wrote in black ink. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see kind of what is on there. I wrote in black ink. I mean, as you can tell, we didn't have a lot going on. So yeah, so at this point I was just using black ink. I wasn't using these horizontal weeks, so these were pretty much useless to me. Still in black ink, and then this is when we bought our house. So we had our closing day, and then we moved into our house, and then things started getting busy. I kept track in here when I applied to be a surrogate. I kind of almost a little bit like memory planning almost. So I just kind of keep track of how long things were taking. So I got that in there. So yeah, this is essentially what I used my planner for, is I pretty much wrote in black ink. Towards this time, I started using different colors. So I started using green for when I was doing surrogacy things. But other than that, I still wrote in black ink a lot of the time. And so if you look at it, it's just a mess. A lot of things, anytime things were canceled, I would cross them out. It looks so ugly. And then, let's see, is it October? Okay, so this is the month I actually got my first sticker order, and I started using stickers. And I don't know if you can see, I don't know how to zoom in on this camera. There we go. So I got cute little shot stickers. I got picture for, my doctor's appointments. I got, stickers for birthday, for when I was stopping birth control, just a bunch of different little stickers for when I was doing little things, and they're nothing fancy. There's still a ton of crossed out stuff in here, and then I would make an appointment and then be like, oh, I want to use a sticker for that because I have a sticker. I would just put the sticker over my writing. Y'all, it's a mess. Just a mess. So yeah, so this is when I had my transfer. So around this time is when I realized, okay, I need something different. I think I still wanted to do a monthly notebook, but I think I wanted something that wasn't weekly here, because I still didn't think I would want a weekly view. And so I was on my to-do right here, as I was check Erin Condren for Black Friday sales. So here's the last month here. It's still it's still a mess, y'all. Man, I was a hot mess with these. And I didn't use any of this except for just this part for future planning. I put 2 dates in there. And that was it. And I didn't even use these note pages. Ooh, this one's weird feeling. This one's kind of that, like, almost plasticky type material. Okay, so this is my first official planner that I bought recently. I had used planners before. Growing up, I used planners. I used a planner when I was working. But then once we moved to Texas and I became a stay-at-home mom, like, I was just like, well, I don't need a planner. I'm not doing anything. So I got the monthly planner in the 8.5 by 11 because I still wanted to do monthly planning, and I still wanted to plan it in the boxes. I didn't think I'd use a weekly, but I wanted the bigger one so that I had enough room to write down. Okay, so I didn't use this page last year, and honestly, I'm not using it this year either. I still just don't really have anything that I want to track for a whole year. So here's the first one. I started using like these cute little pregnancy stickers. Still was using black ink, y'all. Oof. But I did like having notes pages. I didn't use a ton of notes pages each month, but I liked using them to keep track of questions before I would have a midwife appointment, because I'd stop and like think of a question and be like, oh, I should write that down. So I started writing them down in this. So this book I also kept on my kitchen counter, open to the month page. It was next to our coffee machine. So there's always like smudges and stuff on it. I mean, look at this sad thing. This thing got all kinds of messy. Still with the black pen and crossing things out. Oh, Lordy, you guys. That was a mess. Another thing for a midwife appointment. And then, March the same with the black ink. And then April, I decided, because all of a sudden I had a ton of things going on. My son started swim classes in April. I was seeing the chiropractor more often. I was getting massages for my pregnancy. And so I was like, you know what? I need to start writing things down in different colors so that I can kind of keep track of who's doing what. So I had my husband in green. I had myself in a purple color. My son was in blue and my daughter was in pink. And so that kind of helped open things up for me and figure out what was what. It was still frustrating because I would plan something and I would put it at the top, but then something else would happen, that would be earlier than that. Like this one right here is a perfect example of this that just drove me crazy. I would write, okay, swim was every week. So I wrote swim down here. But then all of a sudden, Scotty was having an Easter party that day. And so I had to write it underneath. And I hated that now things weren't in order in my planner. It's such a nitpicky, silly thing, but it drove me crazy, y'all. Drove me crazy. So yeah, and then I didn't write anything down on my notes pages for this month. And then things got even busier. And at this point, I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I didn't want to spend money on a new planner because I'd spent so much on this one. And I don't like not completing a planner. Like, I didn't want half a planner that I saved because I like to save these because I like to be able to look back on them and see what we were doing and think, oh, I thought I was busy. That's so silly. Yeah, so this one, I was like, oh my God, we're so busy. I don't have enough space to write things. I still kept pretty much, this was where my midwife appointment stuff was. And like stuff for my birth plan. And yeah, so at this point, my best friend had gotten a life planner and I was asking her like, okay, well, what do you think of the life planner? Is it big enough? For some reason, I was so concerned that there wouldn't be enough space for me to write things. It's so silly. And then here we started planning our Disney trip here. So I started writing things in red for Disney, kind of milestones for that. Yeah, still busy. Still busy. And then I was getting very pregnant. So I had a lot of stuff on notes pages because I do like it for a brain dump type of thing too. So I've got like my midwife appointments here, and then I started planning a little bit more thoroughly with the Disney trip on what kind of dining restaurants I wanted to go to, and then I realized my travel agent would do all that for me, and y'all, it was amazing. I loved having her plan all of my stuff for me, and I will never do it without a travel agent ever again because she was fantastic. So then I had the baby and things slowed down. So I had a lot of stuff in purple because I had a lot of things that I was dealing with, you know, like aftercare and seeing my midwife afterwards and stuff. No notes pages. Then things died down in September because I was still recovering. No notes pages taken here. Yeah, I just knew that this wasn't going to work for me long term. Especially with just how cluttered it was in the summer months. Like, that was just driving me crazy how it just looked cluttered and unorganized. Yep, still in November, nothing too crazy. Was sort of planning for Thanksgiving. You know, I just didn't use it too much. December was pretty busy, but still didn't use it a ton. I did some Christmas planning here. Money from my dad went on the trip with me. I used this a good amount. I mean, not a ton. Okay, this is a good amount for me. And then these notes pages in the back were taken up by my Disney, my packing list for our trip. And then last minute things that we needed to and then my father-in-law wrote this for us. And then I wrote down goals for next year. And that was it. That was all that I used in this planner. I did not use nearly as many notes pages as I should have. The only thing I used this folder for was periodically to put something in, and the only thing that's in here now is something for my son's taekwondo. And that's it for this planner. So I got this one. I got a soft bound 8.5 by 11 vertical life planner. And I got it in the mail, and let's see, where's January? Here. I got it in the mail, and I started setting it up, and I was like, this thing is massive. I was like, how am I going to use these pages? I could not figure out, I was like, there's going to be so much blank space. How am I going to make this work? And I lasted, it looks like I lasted 2 weeks before I was like, this is not going to work. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And I started watching Julie's plans on YouTube and seeing her hourly and how she set that up. I was like, wow, that is definitely what I need. I was like, I really need an hourly because I like having things in order and being able to see the hours of my day and being like, okay, this is when I need to do this. This is when I need to do this. So I used this for legit 2 weeks, and then it went completely unused. And I was like, I want to try doing stickers and making it pretty like the girls on YouTube, but I just could not go all in on it. And so, yeah, that's what happened there. So I got my hourly life planner, and this was perfect. So yeah, that is it. These are all of the planners that I've used the last 2.5 years. I still have the rest of the year to use this one, and then Black Friday will come around and I will buy my next life planner. I definitely will be sticking with an hourly. I can tell that so far it's worked perfect for me. It's exactly what I need in a planner. So yeah, it's been fun and a smidge bit embarrassing to show you guys my previous planners, but I think it's good for people to see that it takes time. It takes time to figure out what you want, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want in a planner, what I like in a planner. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you think. And I will see y'all next time. Be safe and be kind. Bye-bye.